ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करल्लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 1 वल्ली 2 मंत्र 20। अणोरणीयान् महतो महीयान् आत्मास्य जन्तोर्निहितो गुहायाम् तमक्रतुः पश्यति वीतशोकः धातुप्रसादान्महिमानमात्मनः। We will continue the bhashya. सच आत्मा अस्य जन्तोः ब्रह्मादिस्तम्भपर्यन्तस्य प्राणिजातस्य गुहायां हृदये निहितः आत्मभूतः स्थितः इत्यर्थः। We have seen the bhashya of the first half. The first half conveys, not first half, only the first quarter we have seen. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. The Atma is all-pervasive. The Satyam, the substance, is Atma, Brahman. And the Brahman is not different from you. It is stated in the second quarter. Atmasya jantor nihito guhayam. The first quarter is Tatpada and the second quarter is Tvampada. It is none other than your own self. Sacha Atma the same Atma, which is Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan, Atma Asya Jantoho. Jantoho is equal to Prani Jatasya. Jantu means a prani, a being, an individual is Jantu. And Bhashyakara takes it as a collective singular. Instead of taking one Jantu, he takes all Jantus. Therefore, he says Prani Jatasya, the collection of all Jantus, collection of all Pranis, all beings. All beings in the world are included. And which are the beings? Brahmadi Stamba Paryantasya, starting from Brahma, Hiranyagarbha, which is the greatest being, until Stamba. Stamba is a small grass, not even a big grass. We have bigger grasses like a darbha, kusha, etc. But this is a small grass. It is called a stamba. Brahmadi Stamba Paryantasya. It is not stambha. Stambha is different. Stamba means a small grass. So, starting from the greatest being in the universe, Hiranyagarbha, up to a small creature, small living being. For everyone, the same Brahman is Atma. The same Brahman is the self of every being. Brahmadistamba paryantasya prani jatasya guhayam. Guhayam is equal to hridaye. In the hridaya. Hridaya literally means heart. In the heart there is buddhi, mind. According to the Shastra, heart is the seat of mind. For everything there is a seat. Every component of Sukshma Sharira has a seat in the Sthula Sharira. For example, our Chakshurindriya has a seat, our eyeballs. Likewise, the Shastra has mentioned a seat for our mind also, our manas or antahkaranam as well. And it is the heart, hridaya. Therefore, hridaya means buddhihi, antahkaranam. We have to take lakshyartha, not vachyartha. It is jahallakshana. How jahallakshana? You give up the vachyartha altogether. I think three forms of lakshanas are familiar to you, right? Jahal lakshana, ajahal lakshana, jahad ajahal lakshana. Here it is jahal lakshana. The vachyartha of the word hridaya is given up, and you take the meaning buddhi, which is related to the vachyartha, but which does not include the vachyartha. Therefore, it is jahal lakshana. Guhayam is equal to hridaye, buddhau ityarthaha. Nihitaha, it is present. Nihitaha is equal to sthitaha. How sthitaha? Atmabhutaha, as the very self, as the very illuminer of the antahkarana, not as an object of antahkarana. There are so many things in the antahkarana, so many objects are there. Everything that we see is present in our antahkarana. Whether it is needed or not needed, everything is filled. But the Atma is not one among so many things in the antahkarana. It is the very Atma of the antahkarana. Not the object of antahkarana, but the illuminer of antahkarana. Therefore, Bhashyakara clarifies, Guhayam Atmabhutaha sthitaha. He is present as the Atma, as the very self. So now the second half is explained. Tam atmanam darshana shravana manana vijnanalingam akratuhu akamaha drishta drishta bahya vishaya uparata buddhihi ityarthaha. Tam atmanam, that Atma. So now he is giving sadhana to understand this truth. You are Brahman. That is the vision conveyed in the first half. How to understand this truth? Sadhanas are required. There are many sadhanas. Sadhana samagri. Samagri means a collection of various sadhanas. Among them, some are mentioned here. Tam atmanam, that Atma, pashyati, sees. Who sees? Or how does one see? Is going to be mentioned. But before that, Shankaracharya give some more information regarding the Atma. Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnana Lingam. We have read this, right? Yeah. Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnana Lingam. So, some people want logics to understand the presence of Atma. There is Atma in the body, in the Guha. Already in the last line we have seen Atma is present in the Guha, in the Buddhi of every being. In support of this, is there any logic? Then Bhashyakara says, yes, there is a logic. Though you don't need a logic, because it is very much evident. It is self-evident. Yet, to understand or to convince someone who cannot understand without logic, because he is too much intelligent, therefore he cannot understand things without giving a logic, even if it is directly evident. There are such people. If you go to the philosophy, you understand. Even if something is directly evident, very much evident, they will question its presence. Then you have to convince them, yes, there is Atma. What is the logic? Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnana Lingam. He does not give a detailed logic, but he just gives a linga. Here linga means hetu. Lingyate jnayate anena iti lingam. Lingyate jnayate anena iti lingam. An indication by means of which one can know the presence of something else is called lingam. In the logics, hetu is also called a linga. Instead of using the word hetu, we can also use the word linga. For example, Parvato Vanhiman, Dhumat. Dhumat is hetu, because there is smoke. And the hetu is also called linga, because that is the one through which you know the presence of fire. Lingyate anena iti lingam. Likewise, is there any linga, any indication which can which can prove the presence of the Atma? Then Bhashyakara says, yes. All the activities that is happening in our Sukshma Sharira, we are able to see Darshanam and Shravanam. We are able to hear, we are able to think, Manana, and we are able to make decisions, Vijnana. Manana means thinking or doubting is manana. And Vijnana. So manana means sankalpa vikalpa. And Vijnana means nishchaya. That is the difference between manana and Vijnana. Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnana. These are the lingas, the indications to prove the presence of the Atma in the body. We are able to see, the ability to see is possible only if there is a Chaitanya, a consciousness, and the ability to hear, ability to think, ability to decide. All these functions are possible only in the presence of a Chaitanya, a consciousness. And the Chaitanya does not belong to the Sthula Sharira or Sukshma Sharira, because they are all assemblages, several things put together. The Sthula Sharira is a product of 5 elements, many components. And so is the Sukshma Sharira. Karyakarana Sanghata. And the Sanghata itself cannot be Chaitanya. No assemblage can be Chaitanya. Every assemblage is Jada. We have seen this some time back. Therefore, there has to be a principle which is consciousness in nature, which blesses this Karyakarana Sanghata and enables all these functions, enables darshanam, etc. Enables the function of vision, hearing, and so on. That is the linga. Therefore, we can say Atma is Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnana Lingam. Darshanancha, Shravanancha, Mananancha, Vijnanancha. Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnanani. Itaretara Dvandva Samasa. Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnanani. Lingani. Yasya Saha. Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnana Lingaha. Adjective to Atma, therefore masculine. Tam Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnana Lingam. Dvandva Garbha Bahuvrihi. Dvandva inside a Bahuvrihi. Darshana, Shravana, Manana, Vijnana Lingam. Akratuhu. So, this adjective is in support of the statement Guhayam Nihitaha. See, this is how we make use of Yukti. The Shruti says Guhayam Nihitaha. Shruti made this statement. And in support of the Shruti statement, Bhashyakara gives Yukti. This statement of Shruti is very much logical because we can give a logical support. He shows how the Shruti Vakya is supported by logic. Then the asambhavana goes away. See, on hearing the statement, Atma guhayam nihitaha. Atma is your own self. It is present in everyone. When this is heard, one may get a doubt. Is it really possible? Can there be Atma in everyone? Somebody might get a doubt. It is Prameya Shanka. On the Prameya, on the fact that is revealed by the Shastra, someone gets a doubt. Is it really possible that Atma is there in everyone? Prameya Shanka or Prameya Asambhavana. Somebody might get it. Some people may not get it here, they may get elsewhere. When the Prameya Shanka comes, it has to be resolved by taking recourse to a supporting logic, a yukti, Shruti Anukula yukti, a yukti which is in favor of Shruti. And this process of making use of a Shruti Anukula yukti and removing Prameya Shanka is called Mananam. So that is why when we study the Bhashya, in addition to Shravana, Manana is also happening. See, Darshana Shravana Manana Vijnana Lingam. Bhashyakara himself provides a yukti to dispel our asambhavana. Our doubt regarding the feasibility of, tenability of Vedanta. Now he continues explaining second half. Akratuhu tam atmanam akratuhu. Akratuhu means akamaha, one who is free from desires. Kratu is kama. Kratuhu means kamaha. Akratuhu akamaha. Na vidyate kamaha yasya saha akamaha. Bahuvrihi samasa. Nanya bahuvrihi. Bhashyakara explains the word akamaha. Drishtadrishta bahya vishaya uparata buddhihi ityarthaha. One whose mind is withdrawn from external objects, which include both drishta and adrishta, both seen and unseen. Drishta and adrishta. The bahya vishayas, external objects, can be both drishta and adrishta. Drishta means what we see in this world itself. It can be seen in this world. It is drishta. But then there is adrishta, swarga, etc. We don't see a sample of swarga and get interest in swarga. You don't get to see a sample of swarga also. Certain things you see a sample and then you get interested, I want to buy. That is why when you go to shops, they will give you samples. Mango or grapes, they will give sample. Yeah, taste one or two, and then if it is good, you take. It is drishta. You get a sample and then you get interested. It is possible in everything in this world. But when we talk about swarga, we don't even get a sample. Then there is only one pramana to know that there is swarga. That is Shastra. So, adrishta means the objects of desires that are revealed by the Shastra. Anushravika. Anushravika means only known through Shruti, Shruti Pramana. Drishta and Anushravika instead of Adrishta. Sometimes you may hear the word Anushravika. Drishta, Drishta, Bahya Vishaya. All are Bahya Vishaya. Whether it is Drishta or Adrishta, it is Bahya. It is external. Even Swarga is external. External means it is not Atma. It is not your Swarupa. Anything other than your Swarupa is external. Bahya. Bahya Vishaya. Uparata Buddhihi. His Buddhi, his mind is Uparata. It has withdrawn itself from all the external objects. It is no longer interested in any object outside. Means it is not interested in any anatma. It is interested only in Atma. Because it has understood very well that no anatma can give happiness. No anatma can give freedom. No anatma can give security. It has understood very well. Drishta drishta bahya vishaya uparata buddhihi ityarthaha. Ityarthaha means this is the implied meaning, the extended meaning of akamaha. Akamaha implies drishta drishta bahya vishaya uparata buddhi. Drishta drishtebhyaha. बाह्य विषयेभ्यः उपरता बुद्धिः यस्य सः दृष्टादृष्ट बाह्य विषयोपरत बुद्धिः. बहुव्रीहि समास. Referring to the person. Akamaha is also bahuvrihi. Akamaha mumukshu, referring to a mumukshu. One of the qualifications of a mumukshu. And then there is another word in the mantra, dhatu prasadat. And Bhashyakara is connecting akratuhu, the word akratuhu, with the dhatu prasadat. Dhatu means indriyani, senses. Their prasada, their quietude, composure is called dhatu prasada. Calming down of the senses, composure of the senses. Bhashyakara gives a connection between these two. When someone has become akratuhu, when someone is free from desires, then his senses become quiet. His mind as well as other senses, they become quiet. They are not restless. As long as there are desires, the mind and senses remain restless. See, yada cha evam tada mana adini karanani dhatavaha sharirasya dharanat prasidanti iti esham dhatunam prasadat atmanah mahimanam karma nimitta vridhyakshaya rahitam pashyati ayamahamasmiti साक्षाद् विजानाति यदा च एवं yada evam, when someone has become so, yada kaschid evam bhavati means kaschid akamaha bhavati, when someone is free from desires, tada mana adini karanani dhatavaha. Dhatavaha, dhatuhu dhatu dhatavaha, bahuvachanam. Dhatavaha means mana adini karanani, all the indriyas. Karana means indriya. Generally, karana means instrument. Instrument of any action is karana. Here, karana means indriya. And manas is also an indriya. Manas shasthani indriyani. Manas is also an indriya. Ekadasha indriya we talk about. So, manas plus other 10 indriyas. So, mana adini karanani. Mainly manas. The disturbance mainly happens in the manas. Then it is percolated into other senses also. Mana adini karanani are called dhatavaha. Why they are called dhatavaha? Bhashyakara gives the derivation of dhatavaha. Sharirasya dharanat dhatavaha. They are called dhatu because they support the body. Sharirasya dharanat. They support the body. They are called dhatavaha. Dha dhatu plus tu pratyaya becomes dhatu. Dharayati iti dhatu. One who supports. Or dadhati. Dadhati iti dhatu. Dadhati. Not dharayati. Dadhati. Dudhanya dharana poshanayoho. Sharirasya dharanat dhatavaha. Therefore, mana adi karanani are called dhatavaha. Dhatavaha prasidanti. Yada cha evam tada dhatavaha prasidanti. Yada evam means yada akamaha bhavati. Tada dhatavaha prasidanti. Then all the dhatus, all the indriyas, they become quiet. They are not disturbed. Iti esham dhatunam prasadat. Iti. Therefore, esham dhatunam prasadat. Because of the prasada, the quietude of these dhatus. Dhatunam prasadaha dhatu prasadaha. Quietude of the senses is called dhatu prasada. By means of dhatu prasada, with the help of dhatu prasada, one can know the Atma. Because only when the indriyas are quiet, when the indriyas are not disturbed, one can pursue the jnana effectively, successfully. If the indriyas are disturbed, one cannot focus on Shavana, Manana, etc. And to make the indriyas quiet, to make the indriyas free from distraction and disturbance, one has to make oneself free from all kamas, free from desires. Atmanaha mahimanam. So dhatu prasadat. By means of dhatu prasada, what does one get to know? Atmanaha mahimanam. The glory of the Atma. And what is the glory of Atma? Karma nimitta vriddhikshaya rahitam. The Atma which is free from vriddhi and kshaya, growth and deterioration. Atma is free from both growth and deterioration, free from gain and loss. This very nature of the Atma is the Mahima, the glory of the Atma. Pashyati, he knows. The Mumukshu understands the glory of the Atma. And how does he understand? Ayam aham asmiti sakshat vijanati. Ayam aham asmiti. The Atma, the Brahman is aham, me. I am the Paramatma. Iti sakshat. Sakshat vijanati. He gets aparoksha jnana. Sakshat jnana is aparoksha jnana. When someone understands Brahman as a third person, it is called paroksha jnana. Brahman is there elsewhere. Asti Brahma. There is Brahman. And where is Brahman? Elsewhere. Not me. I am not Brahman. I am a Jiva. And this will continue to exist even after doing Shravana. Even after understanding Vedanta vaguely, one can continue to think, I am not Brahman. And one may not spell it out. Somebody asked me a question. Swamiji, I know I am Brahman, but will I get moksha? I know I am Brahman. Will I get moksha? What does it mean? Yeah, you don't know you are Brahman. If I know I am Brahman, there is no question of getting moksha. Because Brahman is Nitya Muktaha. The moment I understand Aham Brahmasmi, the need to get moksha disappears. Therefore, the very fact, will I get moksha? This question arises. It is an indication of not having aparoksha jnana. It is paroksha jnana. Still I am not Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi has not become clear. Until it is very clear, all the jnana that we have is paroksha. Because we still think Brahman as a remote entity, as a third person. Even though we know that according to the Shastra, I am Brahman. But until it is not clear, because of some vagueness, because of viparita bhavana, it is not very clear. That is paroksha jnana. But he understands. Sakshat vijanati means without vagueness, without any wavering, he is awake to the vision, I am Brahman. Then he will not get this question, will I get moksha? The question will not arise. the question gets dissolved. In fact, Vedanta does not give moksha. Instead, it puts an end to the seeking of moksha. It puts an end to the need for getting moksha, the need for seeking moksha is dissolved. Therefore, Vedanta does not solve the problem, it dissolves the problem. There is no problem anymore. It is not that there is a problem and it gives a solution. It dissolves the very problem. Tataha Vitashoko bhavati. So finally, the Shruti mentions the result of jnana, jnana phala. Tataha vitashoko bhavati. Tataha, thereafter, as a result of jnana, vitashoko bhavati. One becomes vitashokaha, free from shoka. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.